We have some major updates to dive into about the Terra Luna Classic burns. Now currently with Terra Luna Classic, we are up about 1% on the day. We are just shy of the $900 million market cap. And when it comes to the Terra Luna Classic burns, we actually have some great news. First of all, we had the Binance burns. As you can see by this massive candle on the burn charts, that's where Binance burned roughly 8.8 billion Terra Luna Classic. And that Binance burn actually brought our total Terra Luna Classic burn over 48 billion total Terra Luna Classic, and our average daily burn right now is sitting at about 188 million per day. And we do take a look at the top burners of Terra Luna Classic. There's kind of an interesting trend here that I want to point out. First of all, we start with a couple burns that are over 1 billion, but then the Terra Luna Classic burn quickly drops off. And if we look at this, we can see that very quickly we go from hundreds of millions on these different things. For example, all nodes, LUNC DAO, MEXC, and then we end up dropping down below that 100 million threshold. And then we start to get some other coins like Cremation, which we're going to circle back to in a minute, and then some other things, the Burn All Out Initiative, the Terra Casino, and these different things that have burned Terra Luna Classic, some different validators. But when we look at the Binance burns, you can see that the Binance burns in comparison, 28 billion versus some of these other ones on the top list that are in the tens of millions, is a dramatic difference. However, when we look at the current Terra Luna Classic burn, let's say we want to make this 1 trillion total Terra Luna Classic burn, or we want to increase this average daily Terra Luna Classic burn over 1 billion every single day. That's not going to happen just through Binance. Binance is not going to be burning a billion Terra Luna Classic every single day. What's going to happen to make that possible? So we're going to have to get a lot of these other projects in here, these different ones that we highlighted, to burn significant amount of Terra Luna Classic on a weekly basis. Today's sponsor, Cremation Coin, has burned an absolutely insane amount of Terra Luna Classic, coming in at over 80 million total Terra Luna Classic burn on just this one wallet. And they tweeted this out just a little while ago, but just this week, they do weekly Terra Luna Classic burns. Just this week's Terra Luna Classic burn, over 51 million Terra Luna Classic got burned just this week, which means when you look at this average daily burn rate of 188 million, they represent roughly 4% of the average Terra Luna Classic burns that we've been seeing, which is a significant amount of Terra Luna Classic for them to burn. You can see that their total Terra Luna Classic burn right now across different wallets is combined up to 93 million Terra Luna Classic burn by their project. Now, Cremation is able to burn so much Terra Luna Classic because they have a transaction tax on every transaction of 12%, which breaks down to 40% of that going towards Terra Luna Classic burns weekly, 40% towards development, and 20% towards buyback and burn of their own cryptocurrency. Now, if Cremation is actually able to continue burning over 50 million Terra Luna Classic every single week, on an annualized basis, they would burn over 2 billion Terra Luna Classic, which would put them on the top Terra Luna Classic burners above Lunatic's token for the number 3 slot. Now, since I first covered the Cremation project, they peaked up almost 20x, and right now they're sitting about a 15x from where we first covered them. So congratulations to anybody who bought in. As always, do your own research, do your own due diligence, make sure you know what you're getting into. But personally, I believe that Cremation has the potential to burn insane amounts of Terra Luna Classic, and I believe that they are going to hopefully continue to support our community and grow alongside us. And I'm really excited to see what they do in the future. They might be launching some NFT projects, some stores that could burn more Terra Luna Classic. So if you want to learn more about their project, check out the link in the description down below. Now, at the end of the day, this is one project that is burning tens of millions of Terra Luna Classic consistently. But what we need to do if we really want to increase this burn rate to over 1 billion Terra Luna Classic every single day, we have to get hundreds of these projects that are willing to burn tens of millions of Terra Luna Classic on a weekly basis. That way we can really increase our burn rate, and we could actually see the burns for Terra Luna Classic exceed 90% of the total supply eventually. And if you want to learn about that potential, check out this video up here, and I'll catch you on the next one.